Thanks for staying with us. We're still having this conversation.
Yes, I was trying to end it with, you know what, the story you even shared of your father, of how he even gave you privacy in your rooms and in the bathroom. Just for me, further, highlights what I've been trying to say, concerning this very close relationship with father and children, is that even though you had this close relationship, he still understood your privacy. And in this case, it had to do with a private room or a private place that you used. And so if you put that also to private parts of the body, you understand that there are boundaries and there are things that you cannot do. There are also things that you expect of children, or you allow children, not expect of children. Because they are children, they are innocent, they're still learning, but an adult child or an adult, two adults acting in that way, going that far, for me, I think it's unacceptable. And as I said earlier, yes, I'm not a Muslim, but I know for sure that, Islamically, some of these things will be termed haram, where, you are not respectful of another person's privacy and boundaries. So that's all I was trying to say.
Let me take this call from Timothy. Good morning, Timothy. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead.
Oh, finally I got you today. I'm really happy to get you.
To have you.
I love your show every morning. I'm watching people from Lokoja.
Thank you, sir. Welcome to the show.
Yes, yeah, thank you. You are doing a very great job. I want to really comment on this program this morning. Sincerely, it's a wonderful one. I want to first of all take it from the angle of my little girl for 4 years, my daughter. If you see the kind of bond we have together, this little girl who touched my beard, I will not be removing her hand from my beard. She will jump on my head, fly over. She likes sleeping with me. In fact, it's like she and her mom, they were cataract. So I begin to see from the program people were saying now that there's definitely a daughter to a father. There's always a strong bond with two of them that at the end of the day, you know that these people are very, very close. They can share anything common. Sometimes we bring culture too much into some things to do. It doesn't even make some things free concerning a father to a daughter.
Yeah.
So what that lady is doing to the dad is very normal. Like, I don't see anything that culture can be restricted too much. Like in my own place, I have a very strong culture. I'm a Ghana by tribe, and we have very strong culture. But due to what I saw there was nothing wrong. Like a man used to have back pockets when we saw our clothes. We also have one pocket at the chest. So it was like telling the father, let me see your back pocket. And
even when she turned the bad, they were laughing. They were laughing, and the man didn't get. There was no shikiri feeling. Not shikiri feeling. Somebody, like when a lover touches you, it was more like, I beg. I don't have.
That's not what we're talking about.
I know.
We're not talking about how he felt.
Let me take Otumba Karim. I want to go to the wedding father, but let me take Otumba Karim.
Yes.
He said, "Good morning, Mariah and the ladies. Happy New Year. The bond between father and daughter is unimaginable, especially the first daughter. There's a theory of psychology to it. Sigmund Freud called it Oedipus theory. Myself and my daughters are 5 and 6. It is encouraged in Islam that a father shows love and affection and protection towards daughters because of their soft nature." So, talking about soft nature of fathers and daughters, let's talk a bit about the video of the father crying, not just those tears that just drop like this is the dad. This one was crying and they had to give him a towel. It was really cleaning his face. There was not the idea and prayer for a father to escort his daughter to her husband. But he was really crying. So that's probably father. He's talking to the son.
Yeah.
That was his son-in-law. She said, "She's my life." Did you hear that? She's my life.
Oh.
Just said that. She's my life. Yeah. Oh my goodness. He's connected to now. This kind of love, I know. I don't know how to even start.
No, I just think he's a very emotional kind of guy. Yeah. That's all. He's emotional. And I am sure they are used to him. Yeah. There are some... you've never gone for some friend's wedding. Before the wedding, they'll tell you, people, my mother is very dramatic. Yes. Or my daddy is the emotional one. He's going to cry here. And then when he starts crying, everybody's looking because we've already been told. So I just think that's how he expresses himself. He must express himself very emotionally. And in this case, it brought tears to his eyes.
Let me come to yeah, go ahead.
Okay, and seeing her trying to, she was comforting him. See her mom on the other side. I'm sure she was like, "Oh God, this bar started again." So he's just, there was no inappropriateness there. It just shows that this is a person who is very emotional, and we love to see that. We also come from a very conservative society, and here we're discussing how far you can go. But for me, this was appropriate, this was decent, and this was okay, given the circumstances.
I was going to come to BC because she's the coach amongst us. And I remember there was a video where I think it was a Korean or a Japanese father who was at the altar with his daughter. And he told his son-in-law to be, he said, listen, if my daughter does anything to you,
don't to send her.
Please, just bring her back to me. Don't hit her. Don't do anything. If you're done, if you're tired of the marriage, I am giving her to you right now. But if there's issues with her at all, please bring her back home to me. You know, I don't want wahala. I'm telling you here at the altar. Now, there are fathers like that. Yeah. And there's a father like this who will cry. Now, my question to you is, as a coach, do you encourage this kind of... do you encourage this kind of relationship? Because sometimes men find it difficult to be this broken
with their wives.
With their wives, not even wives, even with their children, because they want to have that stern father figure. I am a controller. I'm the one in charge. I want you to fear me. I want you to be scared of me. So I don't want to express my deepest emotions. You know I love you. I'll provide everything you need, but I'm not going to cry on your wedding day. I'm going to be macho. So in your view, do you think men should be allowed to be this expressive of their love of their daughters? Or, you know, we need to see them as that father figure of they are in charge, they're the warriors, they are the defenders of the nation, of the, you know, of the family, and they shouldn't be seen broken, kind of crying like that.
I think that was the definition the society gave to men initially when life started, because they were seen to be the brutes. They had more muscle power. The body build is different from that of a woman, and they're there to protect. And so they had to put up that fierceness so that when you come to my territory, you know I'm the man and all of that. But the world is changing, and what we advise as coaches is that you must allow your emotions to flow. That's what makes you a human being. There was a time, there were studies on why a lot of men were dying. There was a lot of depression because they didn't have an outlet to share their emotion. When we're raising our boys, we tell them, boys don't cry. My son is a crier in the family. As a matter of fact, I'm suspecting that when my daughters are getting married, my husband will cry like this because he's very in tune with his emotions, right? So it's healthy. And then it helps you also not to start having some of the ailments and illnesses that do not have names because you are able to express your emotion. So there's no limit to, of course, we don't want you to go wailing and rolling on the floor, right? But if you are feeling like letting the tears flow, let it flow. After it flows, it will stop. If you're feeling like, talking about it, talk about it. Express your emotions. You are a human being. Crying is not just left for women. Men can also cry. Men also have feelings. And the strength of a man, especially in these modern times, is your ability to be the man and institute the boundaries and, do what you're supposed to do as a man. And also let down your emotion. And it doesn't make you less of a man. That's what makes you a complete human being. And that's what a lot of people are looking for. We no longer want that man that once he enters the house, all the children are running into the toilet to go and hide because daddy is home. That is not it. So this man is doing well. Well done.
Oh, I feel like crying. Let me take Mariam. Good morning, Mariam. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Good morning, Mariam. I'm a first time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Hello, Miriam Nakwana.
Lapia, Nakwana. I was wondering.
Lapia, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
BC, you finished my card, my airtime.
Oh. She'll send you another credit, don't mind her.
That father-daughter bond, I think people are understanding it.
Okay.
I feel when a daughter is much younger, that bond is there. But there is an age as a girl when you reach that spanking of bomb between a father and a daughter, please, is a no-go area. Please.
Yeah.
That's my contribution.
Thank you very much, Mariam.
We normally call you my mother's children because she's a die-hard. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Let me come to Mariam and Nima on this because I got a tweet from somebody saying that, good morning, ladies. I lost my relationship due to the way, in a manner, my wife relates with her father. The father was the first to call her, and she calls him in the morning and the last in the evening. Whoa. Sometimes she might not even call or check on me, but she'll always check on the father. Now, let me come to, when is it too much? Where do you have to set the boundaries? Because we see this man crying and wailing, telling his son-in-law, she's my life. I mean, he's crying. She's telling his son, she's my life. Doesn't take care of her. But this is the kind of father, it's possible that in the morning, first after honeymoon, hi there, how are you? Are you okay? He's likely to call her in the morning. At night, check up on her to make sure she's okay. So this is the kind of father that is likely to be keeping tabs on her movement. Or maybe she'll go to him, oh, daddy, he wants to buy a house with the money.
What do you think?
I want to get it going. She has that connection.
Yes, she does.
So,
Maybe.
we don't, I'm not saying this is,
Yeah, we understand.
I'm just saying just in case, that kind of relationship. So do you think men would appreciate this kind of relationship between father and a daughter so close that this guy is saying he's having a problem?
God forbid the one that will not appreciate it. Why would I say that? Okay, so my dad had a best friend, Prof, is in OAU, still lives there. He had only 2 children. And while we were about jam age, trying to get into school, we lost the son, the elder one. And so till today, he has only his daughter. And he calls her Yami. Yeah, we call, we grew up seeing that love. And he's Christian. He's even deacon and pastor and all of that. But he loves his daughter deeply. And imagine somebody were to marry that girl and say there was one relationship too much, to your long. Where did you fall from? It's a mistake. You're a mistake.
But now
Yes.
she has moved to her husband.
No.
So
Cleave.
What you do as a man is join in that love so that he knows he has earned another child.
That's fun.
Don't come and separate something beautiful because of your jealousy. I had Imran. All of you know Imran and Yala lose bond. Till he was 2, I kept wondering, now me born this speaking. I suffer way. And Imran will be sick. And he will raise his hands from me and go to her. If I want to give him drugs, he will be doing YOLO. And there was a day I was taking him out. I put him on the driver's side. I had to hold him. He was like, save me. I'm your mother. Save me. And the woman was like, cheese balls. I was like, excuse me. Everybody knows how I suffered to have this child. And that day when I got to my mother's house, I was livid. I'd beaten him in the car. My mom was saying, Nima, you're going to lose him. He's safe with her. Earn it. He's 7 and now with the cuddle. I had to go to her house, bring the plates. Imran will not wear slippers I buy for him. But I will go and buy exclusive exotic things. It's Yala will lose plates and cover and spoon. Yeah. Till today, the old neighbor knows. He doesn't take Coke from PET bottles. It's from glass bottles because that's what she gives him. I don't this. It's only how she lives. Yeah. I had to learn it. I can understand the Ijebu now.
They had a soul contract, darling.
Thank you.
Soul contract. Give me high five on that.
And destroy a beautiful thing.
I like that's powerful.
I earned my place to my own son that I birthed. He had bonded with somebody. And I had to earn it. Watch his feeding, speak the language, praise him the way she does. Me too, I have to do. I did everything she did, word for word.
I love that, Nima.
So don't destroy anything beautiful.
Because that's another issue that many homes have. And this man is saying it destroyed their relationship. Yeah. So what he should have done is earned it. Yeah. The way his father has. What do you
two call that?
So for me, that is a healthy relationship and a healthy outcome. That you understand. So
the dynamic.
The first thing is you want a balance, but you also understand that you need to earn that sort of love and attention that she gives her father.
Understanding her background.
Yes, or whatever. I mean, you're in a relationship with someone who's shown extra love or even commitment to someone else. The first thing is not to come in and scatter. The best thing to do is come in and see how you can fill in the gaps and then be so indispensable that you are taking away. I mean, women who are married in a polygamous home, they will tell you, the one that comes and wants to scatter does not get a lot of love. But the one that comes and is nice and finding her way would eventually get the love. So you can do that. But what if we're talking about such a bad situation that even if you've done all that you need to do, that relationship between father and daughter trumps the relationship between husband and
mother
wife.
and son.
Or mother and son trumps the relationship between and it happens. And so, it's easier to understand when a mother-in-law and a husband are in a relation, seem to be so close. We call them all sorts of names, mommy's boy. The mother-in-law is not allowing me to enjoy my husband. But when it's the other way around, we're just thinking, a father and daughter, that's such an important relationship. But if it has the same negative effects on your spouse and your marriage, then you must put in the work that we always say to sons, husbands and mothers-in-laws to put in, which is understand that you have a first commitment also, that's your spouse. And then let the father or mother on the outside understand, this is my husband or this is my wife, and I owe my love and commitment to this marriage. So sometimes your demands from me, for my time, may not come as you want it. You need to put that into consideration. The person in the middle has to be seen to respect the spouse at home as well, who may say, see, I've tried to earn your love, I've tried to earn your trust, but it's affecting me so much. What are you going to do? Don't just say, you just end my love. What are you doing also to make sure that that person is comfortable?
Let me take Elder Yusuf to hold it for her. Good morning, Elder Yusuf. I'm sorry for keeping you. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Go ahead, sir, please. Morning, sir.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
I want to just say something about the two videos. The first thing I want us to know is that private part or sexuality has to do with a mindset. It's a thing of the mind. Now, in a relationship between a father and a daughter, they don't feel the sensitivity of private organs the way a husband and wife will feel. Fathers don't feel it at all. You hug your daughter directly and there is no any chemistry. It's like you are touching a non-living thing. So, but what is wrong with the video is that it has been made public. That's for one. It should be a private thing. Then for the second video that the man was crying, I want to say it this way. At a point in your life, your daughter takes over the role of her mother. She starts showing concern, giving you food, putting your bathing water, and doing certain things. It was actually the mother that trained her like that because she's going to start her own home. But the father now became used to the daughter playing the role. So anytime she's going, he's feeling as though his world is collapsing. For me as a person, I was thinking of my daughter before I even picked a wife. I was thinking of how my daughter will look like. It was part of what guided my selection of a wife.
Wow.
So anytime I am seeing my daughter, I'm seeing a modern version of my wife.
True.
And then it makes me to love her
Even more.
more.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I would like to continue this conversation from where Mariam and Nima left this off, because when it comes to mother-in-law issues, it has become a major prayer point in churches, major prayer points in everywhere, even in mosque. People are talking about, what they call them, Yoko issues. People talk about it as if it's some kind of a plague that sets in once you enter marriage. But from what you said, and what you said is that when you come in and you see there's a bond between a son and his mother, coming in with the mentality of, listen, I am now in charge. This is now my territory. Mommy, stay out of our lives. Give us, and they make it so as if it's my home. But what you said is that you must earn that space. But why don't we see it as earning a space when it comes to mother-in-law issues? We're asking to earn a space when it comes to father-daughter. Earn that privilege to be in that relationship. But mother-in-law is very close to her son, which she raised by herself, and they are very close. You are the daughter that's come in. You don't want to earn it. You want to take authority because it is your home. Why is it different?
So let me respond to that. I don't see any difference. It's just the sexes that swap, right? And my own case was so peculiar because it was not just mommy's boy, it was parents' boy. It was mommy and daddy. They were involved in everything. And when I came, I had to first of all understand the dynamics. I didn't have that dynamics from where I was coming from. I was raised to be independent, make my decisions without having to bounce it of anybody for impute, right? And then whatever consequences come out of it, I go on with it, right? But he was raised in a place where they had to consult. They would talk to each other, you know, I'm thinking of doing this, I'm thinking of doing it. Also, because he's a banker, his father was a banker, so they follow the same, so he has his career path and he has his experiences as well that he taps from.
Yeah.
So he would ask the questions and, you know, and for every decision, for every property, for everything we had to do at the initial stage, he would bounce off his parents. So I had to, first of all, understand the dynamics. And because I was...
Initially, you didn't like it.
No. It had nothing to do with like or not. It just had, it was something that I admired. I didn't have that coming. And when I saw it, I admired and I tapped into it. Until today, my father-in-law will say, he brags with me, like he has never seen a daughter-in-law that played so much as a daughter, even till yesterday that we're in their place to eat and all of that. But I don't know how I understood what to do, but I just knew that. And also my saving grace was, he was man enough to take a stand for the decisions that we take together. So if he brings a matter to me, he puts me in his face in such a way that he won't do anything without consulting me, his wife, right? We would have agreed, and then we now together present it to mommy and daddy. And that was because he did that for me. So I've seen a situation that the man was not strong enough to face the parents when they say, don't do this. And then he will rely on what the parents had given him to do and ignore his wife. That's where the problem comes in. When some parents don't even know how to let go of control. So when I came initially, my mother-in-law was scared. She knew that he loved me, and she was scared that he would stop loving her and she told me to my face, oh, it's not you have collected all the love now. He just put me in one part. I said, no, mommy, I can't collect the love. He has love for you. So I had to make her feel like, mommy, you are our mommy now. We love you together, right? It took me a while, but I was able to get there. And that was because I had a backing of my husband, that when the chips are down, he will put his nuclear first before he's extended. Some people don't have that, and that's why women complain when they do. Aside from
so that's the role. That's the role the husband
has to play.
Yes.
So you see, men can detach. They can love their daughters and still allow family. But women, we are emotional. We take control. We take territory. You know. And at some point, a woman feels competitive. I handled the custody issue once, and the woman came like Omugo. She's Yoruba. The daughter-in-law was having a baby in the hospital. She just had the baby like less than 2 years. So, you know, immediately getting pregnant, and she then had this crisis where they had a CS, and that brought her back to the hospital. She wasn't healing. She just sat down there and saying, looking at her daughter-in-law, a woman, a mother, and said, don't know where you got this one from. You know? You're just spending money.
But they are wicked people. Just
they're not
no, whether men or women.
This is a woman now thinking my son's finances. She's not thinking my daughter-in-law. You know, she's just going, now wow. And the girl felt so cold.
Why don't we encourage the girls,
you know,
to seek to understand where that woman is coming from? Don't just judge. That can just come out.
You know, empathy doesn't have that kind of thing. She's almost dying.
So that's what I'm saying.
She's caught. She's on the table. People. She has 2 kids, and you know what she did? She took the older child from the woman and asked on that hospital bed for her son to divorce the woman. So they left with the child. We had to go and do a custody.
But
you see, so I'm saying,
right.
But if you want to take into context, you say she had a special bond with her child. So my advice is,
but is it possible?
Why don't you,
is it possible that that woman that you're talking about actually does have a special, or did have a special bond with her wife?
And with her son, lost empathy for humanity.
But could there
because of it?
Could something have led to that? So if I'm coming in, wait now. If I'm coming in as a wife, right, seeking to understand this relationship, if I'm able to fully understand that bond, I will probably interpret that connection differently.
Okay,
I'll not see the mother-in-law as a threat to our relationship.
I want us to also separate this. There are wicked people.
Yes.
And wicked people do only as wicked people do. So if a wicked woman has a special bond with her son, she will wickedly exhibit it.
I agree.
Yes.
So you're going to deal with that relationship, and you're going to deal with a wicked person and how the person always thinks that way.
Thank you for landing my point exactly. I gave a sermon. I was supposed to speak on a separate topic, and I got to the event. I saw that they were all elderly mothers. In fact, the whole Asalatu were old women. And I asked them, how much would you like your sons to succeed? Was a general yes. Then what of your daughter-in-laws? Everybody now, slow volume.
Wow.
These are Muslim women.
They are grand
So I changed topic
mothers.
from what was written, and I started to, yes, completely. I started to address that. One of my friends on Radio Nigeria, Abieko FM, was at that event speaking as well. And she was like, Nima, I said,
Yes, so
I changed topic immediately. One thing I've told myself now that I'm young, my daughter, sadly, is my karma for what I did to my mom, because my mom could not get to my dad except through me. So my daughter now, I have to go through her to get to her dad. My son is that close to me, and I'm already telling myself, at some point in life, I will have to let go.
Yeah.
that's wisdom.
Exactly.
Prepare
So I'll
my
come
mind.
back to
I don't
that.
go and
I'll come back to
love
that.
my son and hate his wife. Say, my son can have a Samsung phone, but his wife must use Nokia.
Mbaso.
Let me take this call. Samuel is calling from Benue.
A lot of strength.
Samuel is still there?
Yes,
Okay, thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
thank you so much. In fact, I want to comment briefly on this issue of social bond. Yes, you see, the problem we have in Africa is that we don't want to create for our culture. That is another thing. Then the second is that biblically, you know, when there was a high volume of male sexuality or female sexuality, it was when the Lord visited Sodom and Gomorrah and destroyed. And I see nothing wrong anyway to be cordial with your child. Father-daughter relationship is good, but certain boundaries should not be gone, because if you go to certain boundaries, so you know anything can happen. Anything can happen. You know, we have to control emotions. We have that power to control. The devil is always there, but we have the power to control our emotions.
Yeah.
It is in our midst today that the fathers sleep with their daughters. It is common. We may not know, but it is happening. So we have to be cautious over these issues. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Samuel. Thanks for your contribution. You know, you talked about the wicked woman, but it should also highlight the fact that there are also wicked men. So the same woman the same daughter was saying, husband saying, we should earn your father-in-law's trust. There's some wicked fathers. Hitler was a wicked man. So it's possible that you as a son,
wicked father-in-law.
You might not be a wicked father, but
Yeah, so
I would
wicked
say,
men.
you know, sometimes everybody just needs to, we learn every day.
Yeah.
And we all need to keep learning if we want better outcomes, right? You will not take the suffering that you were given to in the past, and because they dealt with you, you are waiting for the next daughter-in-law to deal with that person, or and that's what we hear sometimes, right? But there was something I noticed with how I was treated. Now, this woman was she's a very smart woman. She quickly understood the dynamics. Okay, this boy loves this girl, and I want this boy to be able to succeed. I want this boy to have peace in his home. I have to love this girl. So that instead of coming to be settling quarrel, mommy said, daughter-in-law said, you are in the middle, you are appeasing this person, you are appeasing. You will use that and focus and do your work and grow the family.
You see?
No, hold on. It was tough. It was a decision that she took, and she told me as much. It was tough for her at the time because she had ideas of the sort of wife she wanted for her son. 2 years difference is not much. Oh, she's from this tribe, you know. She had her own biases, right? Which is okay, because coming from her own experiences, it was later on I started hearing her own personal experiences, and I understood where she was coming from. But initially, I didn't hear that. But she now made a decision and said, I really want my son. See, my son is the most important thing to me right now. And I will do anything to make sure that this boy is happy. If it requires me to swallow my pride and love this girl so that this guy can have peace, then so be it. I'm talking about the wickedness now. You can be, if you're a wicked person and there's no hope for you, there's nothing we can do about it. But you can have some character flaws based on where you're coming from.
So let me
change it.
Let me throw in this angle. Let's put ourselves in the shoes of a mother.
Okay.
You're a calm personality, your natural character is peace and calmness. You fell in love with this crazy guy, and you left him. You know, you had the boldness to leave him, and you raised your son. Maybe you had 2 sons. You raised them by yourself. They grew up, and nobody helped you to raise these kids. Somehow, you traveled abroad. You paid. You struggled to run this boy through school. Now he has graduated, and he meets a girl whose character is almost replica of his father, who probably used to beat you up. Maybe the woman is dominating over your son, who you have raised to be a gentleman. But he's attracted to the feistiness of this girl. He just likes her. But you see beyond this feistiness, this kind of girl that was going to slap this boy, she's going to control everything about him. That the man I have raised, he's likely to enter a marriage that he doesn't even understand it now because he's just 24. He's young. He's in love. The girl is 22 and she's, and as a mother, you want to protect your son. So it's not like you hate the girl. You can be you, but I don't think you're the right person for my son, who I have raised. And I believe, so when I resist some of the things you do, not because I hate you, I just don't think you're the right person for him, because I see beyond what you guys are saying. So in that situation, put yourself in her shoes. She has suffered for this boy to be who he is today.
So there are 2 things.
Yeah.
First of all is that she's assuming her feistiness means abuse.
Yeah.
And we understand.
And you're right, and
yes, and we understand where she's coming from because she's seen a pattern before in another person, and she thinks that may be the case. That's 1. 2 is that unfortunately for her, she's not the one that has to make that decision in the end. The best she can do is advise her son and tell him what the patterns she saw before and what she thinks it may happen here.
Okay.
And then if he decides, I know what you see, I hear your fears, but this is what I want. And so this is, I've said this before, this is the hardest part of parenting, where you know that there's nothing you can do. Just let go and pray to God. Yes. So there's the people that come in and fight, they're not being wise about it. Yeah. You just end up causing more issues. Now, if it so happens that she was right and she came in fighting, for a long time, her son would not even recognize that woman's bad behavior. They would gang up as our mother that does not want our love to happen. Sometimes you have... So you leave them, hopefully, after giving you advice, and then maybe your son will not have to make a mistake in marriage, when you take them to marriage. Maybe he will see it before they do get married. But people have made mistakes. They've married people that they're not meant to marry, had children, and then they bounce back. And as a mother, as a parent, you'll be there waiting with open arms, helping.
When they come back. So it's not a warfare that you go to. They say don't go to a fight, a water fight with fuel and matches. They're different fights. This way that you fight this fight. I always say that the love that you fight for the most with patience is the one of the child and their life's journey. You'll be raising your child following one path, and the child will just look you. And you do another. It also happens in their choices of spouses. Yeah. It's a fight you do patiently. You wait the wait. If you need to step out, you step away.
May God help us.
I had a very close cousin, very close. And when he married, I noticed the wife was a bit cold towards me. I didn't want myself to become the subject of their marriage. Yeah. So I sought my auntie's advice, and she said, Anima, if it is like this, stay away so your cousin doesn't see. And so I became scarce. And my cousin was like, Anima, how can the whole year pass, me and you? Because we're both birthday, August mates and all of that. Me and you in this Lagos. Are you in this Lagos? I'm like, whenever they have something, I'll just hear. I'll be like, I have one event. I will give one Igbo lie. Till the wife sought that friendship. And whenever she came, I was ready. So the warfare is not to be in the face and be advising and be... It is to wait it out. And show
You're not in her shoes, though.
No.
Is a child she fed, raised,
No, I understand.
Disciplined,
That's what
trained,
is the most
kept,
you see, the love
protected,
of a mother,
9 months, went to his school plays from 10 months.
Sacrifice.
So sometimes, but it's always easier said than done.
It's easier said than done. Let me finish.
Yeah.
The love of a mother is the greatest sacrifice, and it doesn't start and stop in the labor room.
For life.
It's a lifetime sacrifice. It's something that is the work you do the most and think, only God will compensate me. And pray for the compensation as much as you want it to be. You pray for that life because your son would always need a life partner.
Yeah.
My advice to the women watching, that will come in, because we are women, all of us, we have our, the mother is a woman like us, all of us have our emotions and our wiring. In Islam, Allah says the paradise of a man is at his mother's feet. Wow. If you love him so much and you want to be in paradise with him, help him to earn it.
Let me take this call from Martin. I'll come to you, BC. Good morning, Martin. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah, go ahead. You're live.
Yeah, please, this angle you people are looking at for father and daughter, that is not the angle we're supposed to look at. Okay. The angle we're supposed to look at is the jealous father that does not want any man to come closer to his daughter. That man is the one that we're supposed to look at.
Thank you.
But these two people, they are just, feeling for taking away of their daughter.
Thank you very much, Martin. We'll definitely touch on the jealous father. Let me come to you, BC.
So, have you people ever wondered how Mary felt when Jesus was crucified?
She must have been heartbroken.
More than heartbroken. You raised a son knowing the purpose of the son, that the son will not cross 50, will not give you grandchildren, will not do this. And you had to just watch. There was nothing you could do, but he had to fulfill his path. This is what I tell myself every day, and I tell everyone who cares to listen. Your child is not your own. You are a caretaker. Understand it and know peace. Your child is meant to pass. Your child is a full-blown human spirit meant to pass through you. You are a channel, birthing another spirit to life. That spirit must fulfill its path. And that path may necessarily not agree with you and how you're seeing life and what you have wished or prayed for him. I remember a part in the scripture where Samson was given, the parents of Samson, he was told, they were told that he was going to do this and do that and do that. And they gave him an instruction, and they said to avoid the Canaanite women, right? Yeah. Don't go there. In that same passage of the Bible, the scripture recorded that unknowing to them, Samson was led to the Canaanites. He had a mission with the Canaanites, but they didn't see that. And the idea of the Canaanites is the fact that they are idol worshippers, avoid them. It was an instruction they heard from God. But God was leading him there because that was where his destiny was. Sometimes in our own limited knowledge, we think we have mapped out what my son is going to be. I've mapped out the kind of wife my son is going to have. And he's a lawyer, he's going to be a doctor, he's going to be going to marry that girl that is very quiet, that is very calm, or that one that is a high flyer. They will build this, they will build that. We do not know. So your wisdom will allow you to understand when you need to let go of your influence and your control over their relationship, over some aspects of his life. Your job will not be guidance. Your job will not be counsel. When they bring matters to you, you would see from where I'm sitting, this and this is what I say. And you go back and you pray. Your job is now on your knees. Not to be saying, no, you must not marry this person. You must not go with this person, because you can never tell.
Okay, I get that.
You have done your job. Know when to understand that I have done my job. The rest is in the hands of the creator of this person. I do not have his manual. The person who gave him this life knows how to direct him. And then you go spiritual and you just pray for whatever, just settle at that level.
I hear you, BC. You're right. But I've also seen scenarios. You see, when we live in Nigeria sometimes, there's a lot of things where we take things for granted, the family, the relationships we have. But I have a story of a family who, I think it was their son or something, married, he followed his path, married this girl from, is it Cameroon or some country like that. And the father was very distraught, like, which one is Cameroon again? How do I even know? But because the mother was also very exposed, she also had schooled abroad. She's like, let him be, he's in love, love. So they did the wedding and everything. Okay, it was Ghana. No, was it Ghana? Somewhere not Nigeria.
Countries, yeah.
Anyways, so the father was very reluctant to allow his daughter go to that place because he just felt that there was no covering. And just as he thought, she got there and she was maltreated, she was broken to pieces, and she came back, she ran for after I think about 6 years of marriage. Came back with I think 2 children at the time. And it's part of the fears. Let's not put that in the shoes of a mother. Imagine it was the mother. They said, you cannot marry this person. I don't want to live with that regret that I warned you, this person is not right for you. I'm not want to enter your marriage, but I know that this where you are going is not the right place. It could be a foreigner issue, it could be a cultural issue, it could be a religious issue, it could be a status issue. There are different things, different factors. So if I know for a fact, how therefore do I reconcile that?
Things that you must live through as a Muslim to form your life.
Yes.
They are predestined.
Yes.
Even if she tied rope on her daughter's neck and tied to Shia,
Marry rubber woman.
go
Go
there,
stay up on there.
experience him, come back, because he needs to be part of her testimony to the place she's going to get to in life. There's nothing that happens to you. The Quran says, for every harm that happens to you, there's a reward that lasts destined for you for it. So even if it's the prick of a thorn, as in you touch flower and the thorn pricks you, there's a blessing for it. So to help you understand that in life, every lesson, everything you're going through is a lesson to make you that better person. That is your end goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that daughter, tie am for share. Put her like
the same mistake for under
you
your...
go laugh for that Cameroon, born that 2 children, experience that
If
thing,
he's apart,
and come back. Your role now is to create a safe place to come back to.
Thank you, Nima. Thank you. That's
Also, what I also understand, there's a part of where sometimes in raising our children, we're not intentional about the sort of person we would like for them
To turn out
to be attracted to want as a spouse. Christians do this a lot, where they pray for their children. You marry a good man, you will be a this, you will be a that. And I think it's important. Because with children, we paint many pictures for them, but we hardly paint a picture of the sort of spouse we want for them. So that as they're growing up and having relationships, they sort of have at the back of their mind this sort of person, it's not like the sort of person my parents want, but this is the good that my parents have always wanted for me, So I will seek this person, I'll seek that. I think I was giving you one story. I said when I was about 14, there was this relative of ours. He met me in the hospital, went to see someone. Then he said to me, he says, I'm going to give you one of my sons. You're going to marry one of my sons. And I was like, I was 14. What did I know? Then one of his friends says, this person. He said, no, that's a troublemaker. I'm giving you my other son. He's in Harvard right now. When he finishes from Harvard, 14 did not mean anything, right? I'd gone away. But I tell you, every time, as I was growing up, I knew I was a Harvard bride.
Harvard bride.
I cannot breathe. I'm not
doing anyhow.
Yeah, so sometimes we need to start that in
so
them.
time.
A kind person. Look for a good person. Look for a hardworking person. So that when they go, it's not just about how the person looks. I've met someone that said, no, I don't have spec. Everything is a spec. Even an elephant is by spec. No, you can't go around.
What's her name? Kafi the dancer, and one lady posted a video of a skit where they say how African women react when their sons bring home the wife to be.
Oh, okay.
That one now do like this. That Kafi, that one set up her glasses. Say, And I wrote there, I said, where I usually see them. So you see the sisters and mothers, they'll come in when the young girl, there was one setting where family people, they brought this Yoruba girl. She came in, she just knelt down. And my aunties were like, If you just sit there, they had that digwana, careful, oh. Watch them, oh. And the Esako girl that they brought did not do anything. And they know that she's their kind. They did not judge. You understand? And this thing Miriam talked about is quite important in how we groom children. We also know the strength of our children.
Yeah, we do.
So a magistrate, older magistrate that I looked up to, her son was just everywhere like that. But his first wife was a go-getter, strong woman, achiever. But she didn't have kids. The mother-in-law stood by her. She felt, if you don't marry my son, imagine you marry somebody like him.
Hey, that's the end.
You will not have anything in life. And I have only this one son. So she wanted a strong woman who would strongly be a backbone if she's no longer there. So she stood by it. He went philandering and had kids by another woman who was like him. She collected the kids and told him, he said, this one is your choice. Anything you do to maintain her is none of my business. So when they have a family gathering like that first wife comes, she later had a son. And she comes into the gathering, she'll be like, she'll see that other one doing pepper body. You know Yoruba things now. Be setting up her own table. And her sisters-in-laws and mother-in-law will not move to that table. They'll tell to that woman. So at some particular point, they told her, get up. Who invited you? I came with my husband's invitation. He said, no.
The second wife, that second woman, will see the mother woman, the mother as hostile.
Yes.
Yeah.
She will feel that the mother is hostile to her.
I'm talking about how you push for the spouses.
Yeah.
So her son brought home the first wife. She looked and saw the strength he needed
Daddy,
in his
something
life journey.
have, yeah.
She supported him. In his philandry, he ended up with his type. She did not support him. His type found him.
We have to wrap up very soon.
She said, this one that does not have kids, this one she will have. And they did everything with her. She had one child. He had 3 kids by the philandra wife. They did not support.
Going back to the father-daughter relations, because I know we kind of moved to mother-in-law
I was
issues,
waiting
but
for us to go.
it's important for us to also understand the love and connection with fathers and daughters. But I wanted us to just, aside from the fact that you want the husbands to earn the space between that father-daughter love, but in a situation whereby that daughter can't do anything without the father.
She will grow.
How long? Is there a timeline to this growth? How do I
As
know
long
when
as you're
this
alive,
grows?
you keep trying.
Yeah, so first of all, you need to understand the temperament of the daughter. There are people who cannot take decisions by themselves, no matter what. So if she has that type of temperament,
But
it will be... No, hold
a man
on.
wants to feel like I am the man.
wait now.
I am the authority over this woman.
Can you
I am, this is my
understand
decision.
first? Understand first the person. No be you want marry. You get to understand your spouse. So understand the temperament of the daughter. If the daughter is somebody that anywhere where breeze blow, now you go, it will be a tough call. For the rest of you people's lives, he may never take you as that full figure. He would always defer to the father. Are you willing to live with that? Some men don't mind. They would.
Yeah.
She will always bounce off the ideas with the father. It's okay. I understand. As long as the man is
They're
thinking
different
about us too.
personalities.
They're different personalities. If you see someone that she's a girl, she's very close to her father, sometimes when her father says, go this way, she's like, Daddy, I'm going the other way. Then you have somebody that would, at some point, understand the role that you play as the husband and give you all the respect. But if you don't have that, ask yourself, are you willing to live with it? If you're not willing to live with it, is it by force? You marry somebody else now. Go for somebody else. Not that
And you know,
difficult.
the scenarios where we see that animosity, or just the tension, is usually maybe very successful, rich, wealthy
Families.
fathers-in-law, and then a son-in-law who comes from a different background. So the sort of things that,
Humble.
yes, from a humble background. And so you feel like you have to prove yourself in many ways. And that's the part I feel keys into a man, the ego part. Yeah. So a man, you either have a man who says, you know what, I'm going to become my own man. I need nothing from your family.
My own money.
Let's go away, you know. And then you have a woman who is constantly trying to decide, this is my wealthy background and all the things that can come from and live and follow you. Or you have someone, or you have the second bad side, which is, so you have all these things. I'm going to be the mumu for your father.
Let us be chopping
so that we can chop it, you know. But what you want is a balance. Someone that understands their worth.
Yeah.
And understand that, you know, whether you have what you have or you don't, it would not affect my own relationship with you. And I hope that you respect me for being your husband, not just because I have wealth or don't have wealth. Yeah. So it's everything when it comes to relationship is really about balance. Yeah. And then people who do that earn the trust of the father-in-law.
At the end of the day.
Yes. So, okay, you know what, when I first met you, I didn't think you were good enough for my daughter, but you have proven yourself. Yeah. I've tested you with money. I've tested, you haven't fallen for that. So
I think we can wrap up with that. Thank you so much. And that's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you. We didn't take any tweets, right?
We have.
And there were tweets too.
Do you have any?
Biliki says it's disheartening that we are even having this conversation. Do you know how many wounded kids, adults are out there wishing they had a bond with their fathers? Some of us have childhood traumas from missing out on such bonds.
Yeah.
Sorry. She says the crux of the matter is we are a society strange to public display of affection between a father and his daughter. I know there are boundaries, but don't be surprised people would still see this as inappropriate because they never experienced such bond.
All right, that's all we can take on today's show. Hope we learned a few things that we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
55.